Hey everybody, this is a response to a tweet from Clarissani, or Clarissani for those of you who like to put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. She asked me my thoughts on the FouseyTube situation following the Tanacon situation. And I've just gotten caught up to where we are today on the whole drama and the parts of it that people have released that they documented with their cameras from all different perspectives. You know, I saw two Keemstar videos, Philip DeFranco video. I've seen PewDiePie's take on it. You know, I've seen a lot of different angles on FouseyTube, right? And FouseyTube's videos. Here's my expanded reaction to this. Yes, simply stated, I think that FaZe Banks in Keemstar's video is dead on, in that these symptoms that Fousey is showing are classic symptoms of mania. And see, she asked me these questions because she wants my take as a mental health professional. This is outside my scope. I deal almost primarily with addictions in my professional life. And if I have someone that manic sitting across from me, I give a referral to somebody who's better suited professionally to take care of that person. I almost never see someone in a manic state like that at my job, right? It would be the depressive side, when things come crashing down, that I would see someone normally. I mean, somebody would have to have some really loving family that really understood bipolar disorder to bring their family in during a manic episode, instead of just, have fun with them and, try to treat it at home. It's always the depressive crash that is the opposite side of things that people normally bring their family members into emergency services for. So I really don't have a lot of experience with that level of mania at all. And to me, these videos of FouseyTube really look like what should be in video textbooks. There's a little embedded video of FouseyTube right next to Mania. It would be very instructive to a lot of people who have never seen this before. This is what it looks like, right? Put right underneath that Tom Cruise on Oprah's couch, right? Classic example of what to look for with mania. But I also feel like when FaZe Banks was explaining it in Keemstar's video, it was a lot more instructive to people, like what we're looking at. So I have a larger picture kind of feeling about what I'm seeing that I don't think anybody else has been touching on it lately, that have been showing these videos for the the train wreck curiosity clickbait. Anyone who's trying to profit off of Fousey's mania by displaying it, for everyone, just splaying it out there. It's not just his bipolar disorder, right? It's not just the mania, the manic phase that he's in right now that is the problem. Part of it is also the talking points that he has are coming from a certain school of thought that I will call a religion, right? And the specific religion, I will call it, I'll just say it's The Secret, right? The Secret, proper, like titled, like watch the movie, read the book. It's the power of positive thinking cult, right? Listen to everything that he's saying, and then go watch the movie The Secret, and you'll realize this guy bought into that philosophy, if you want to call it that, hook, line, and sinker, right? He believes that whatever he puts his energy into, it will manifest itself the way that he wants it to. All he has to do is picture it in his mind and think really, really fucking hard, right? And my bigger picture take on this is mental illness plus other things sometimes is like a multiplier whereby mental illness and drugs together is worse than either of them separately, just added together. These are multipliers. So, like, it's actually mental illness times drug use. And in the same way, you get mental illness times magical thinking, right? Both of these can be destructive to the way that you're living your life and the perspectives that you have. And when you put them together, they're not just, 1 plus 1. This is like the logarithmic factors of how worse things can get. They are very apparent, like it's not just simple math of this is bad plus this is bad, so you got two little bad things. No, put them together and it's fucking dangerous. Like alcohol and benzos, fucking dangerous. So I have a couple other examples in my life from friends who know the danger of magical thinking and have had different experiences in their lives with it mixing with their other problems. I haven't talked to Schizophrenic Queen about this before making this video, but Schizophrenic Queen has said previously, publicly, that a belief in a god, religion and magical things would send the schizophrenia over the edge for Schizophrenic Queen, right? Like, it's not a matter of whether or not Schizophrenic Queen wants to believe in a god or not. There's no want factor to it. If Schizophrenic Queen were to believe in a god, it would combine with the schizophrenia to make an unlivable situation, such that that's the reason why Schizophrenic Queen is in Camp Atheism. Notice how many times I name dropped rather than use a pronoun? That was intentional, but you see what I'm trying to get there. There's people who know that if they were to become part of a certain club, that it would take over their lives, and their lives would become unmanageable because they already have one problem. Like some people sometimes have manic episodes. Being part of Dungeons and Dragons role-playing meetups is not for them, because they know if they were to get involved with that, then they would basically have an interaction with their mental health problems that would be like totally destructive to their lives, right? Also, some people know that they can't get into gambling or business transactions or day trading or cryptocurrency. They know immediately when they see it, I need to stay away from that because I have this anxiety issue, I have this mania issue. I can't do that because if I do, then, it's going to mix and it's going to create this horrible crash in my life. It's gonna end disastrously. Alternately, I actually have a friend, Greeno. If you were to go back in my videos back to when I first started posting on this channel, to a video about a raccoon, a baby raccoon. He was in that video. He's one of my oldest friends from like 20 years ago. And Greeno lives in Texas, and he is a very intelligent guy. And at the time that I visited him, I was also in the infancy of the YouTube atheism kick that a lot of people had, where we were all talking about it nonstop and trying to deconvert others, and Greeno is devoutly religious and has told me that without the world of Christianity in his life, his depression would become overwhelming and he'd just kill himself. He would just not want to live in a world where there was no God, even though on some level he can understand every argument that anti-theists would have against what he lives in his community and in his culture down there in Abilene. Sometimes, there are situations where this magical thinking can prop people up and pull people out of depression. And that's when I see FouseyTube's problem, bipolar disorder, I can understand how The Secret would really help with the depressive side of things. It really does give people hope where hope should not really exist. People who don't want to face the reality that they're not going to achieve a lot of greatness because it's just not within their grasp. They might love The Secret and they might think, oh man, if I'm ever going to get that Porsche, all I got to do is envision it, keep it in mind, keep this plan alive, and maybe one day I'll land that big job that makes me a big name. And unfortunately, not everyone can be the superstar on this planet, And the fame dream, the YouTube fame crazy thing that goes around, it's got a lot of people to think that everybody can be famous. You can hear it in Fousey's words. What if we all had the power together? That's what he was saying when he was standing on that car talking to that crowd when the bomb threat came in and he just went outside the arena and stood on the car. He's like, what if we all had the power together? No, not everyone can have all of the attention and subscribers of FouseyTube that manifests itself in a lot of ad revenue coming to him so that he has all the disposable income in order to throw these events, If we all had the power together, then, in a very socialistic way with our attention, we would all pretty much have the same level of ad revenue and income. What it takes to create a FouseyTube is that we don't all have the power together. We have a focus on one person right now, which is sending his ad revenue through the roof. Giving him that high of attention, but also giving him the empowerment of all those funds. And, you know, this has created train wreck after train wreck. From Tana Mojo the week before to Logan Paul traveling the world and pissing people off, and, you know, all sorts of things that don't give YouTubers the best PR, you know. And I think that PewDiePie might have had a little bit more insight than people are giving him credit for by saying, you know, there's some people who just shouldn't have been YouTubers. You know, it is its own form of stimulus. It's its own class of drug that a lot of people just can't handle in combination with their other problems. And prior to jumping in this swimming pool, they maybe should have dipped their toes into the water and seen, you know, if they can handle the temperature. That's what I've got on this topic. I hope that somebody gives FouseyTube a really good referral to a really good therapist. I'm out. Enough YouTube drama for today.